Hello and welcome to the Planning Hub. So we're joined again by the lovely Louise of Wendy House Flowers. Here she is, Whitewed approved of course. Now, one of the biggest bugbears that we have as planners, florists, photographers, whatever, is how to hold a bouquet correctly. Because so often it's done like this, or done like this. Yeah.
Or like that.
Or like that. No. So this is how, ladies, to hold a bouquet properly. You've seen it here. Right.
Okay, so depending on what holder you've got will help, because we have many types of holders. So some will come like this, and some may come like this, and then you have the hand tied as well. When you have holders like this, it will naturally put you in the right position, because the way the holder goes, you can't hold it any other way. It has to be held like this. So it kind of prevents you, and because of the weight, it will prevent you from doing this. But what we find a lot of the time with the hand ties, I know it's down to nerves most of the time, but we do get a lot of brides and bridesmaids doing this, looking like they're singing into a microphone.
Or even one-handed.
One-handed,
That's always
yeah.
a winner.
Yeah, and I've seen quite a few bridesmaids as well, even walking in like that, which when you've paid this kind of money and you've spent all that time creating something like this, you want to show it off to the best that you can. So the main top tips for it, I know a lot of the brides will be nervous, and this will just make you look as if you are totally in control. So when you have your bouquet, you hold it down by your belly button and it will naturally just fall in that position. When you do that, it relaxes your shoulders, your arms develop a very nice toned shape, and also if you have a very heavy bouquet, that will also create a nice tone to the arms as well. So it doesn't matter what shape or size you are, doing it this way will create that lovely silhouette, and it will just elongate everything from the neck down, making you look lovely, relaxed and serene.
Absolutely. And not only that, your photographer will love you forever, because you will now have a beautiful photograph as you walk down the aisle, rather than go like this.
Definitely.
Like this.
And when you are just socialising with everybody else, hanging around, you're still going to be having photographs taken, whether it's from the guests or whether it's from the professional photographers. So my other suggestion, what I always say to people is, when it's in front, it's at the belly. When it's at the side, hold it like a handbag, because then you get the full crown. If obviously you're going to be talking to people and you may just casually do things like this, that's fine. But as long as you keep it by your side with the crown facing forward, you're always going to have amazing photographs. If it's a stage shot and obviously the photographer wants to take a shot of you, perhaps looking as if you're smelling the bouquet or generally doing something close up with it, that's fine. But when it comes to the ceremony and for the professional side of things, always down at the belly, down at the side like a handbag.
Okay.
And another little tip we have, obviously we get a lot of issues that some people say with flower girls, they don't often like the idea of giving them bouquets because they think they might drop them or they might not want to hold them. What we do at Wendy House Flowers is we always create a little loop on the bouquets. This allows the bridesmaids and the flower girls to just slip their hand into the loop, and then when they hold the bouquet, they can just hold it naturally, and if they do get distracted for any reason, if they drop it, you're not going to end up with a squash crushed bouquet. It's still going to remain on them, and you'll still be able to see the bouquet in the pictures because it will naturally just fall underneath the hand, so it looks as if they're holding it even if they're not. And that's one of our little top tips that we do for the flower girls.
And also, it's really nice to have a couple of jugs or vases that are actually in your reception room, so that you can then pop the bouquets in there. So not only does it help as having a decoration on your tables, whether it's on your gift table or your cake table, it keeps them fresh for photographs later.
Definitely, it's always a good idea to keep them. And as well, if you want to have your bouquets pressed, which we also do at Wendy House Flowers, we do the floral preservation. It's always a good idea to keep them in water as long as you can for the whole day, so that then we can take them off your hands within a couple of days of the wedding, and it keeps the flowers as fresh as possible so that they're perfect for pressing.
Brilliant.
It's very good.
Okay, and the next one is how to put a buttonhole. So this is for you guys, so here we go.
Now, the main tip for remembering, because we always get it confused, people don't know what side
Which
it goes
side,
on, whether it's male or female, where they put it, and depending on what they're wearing, that can make it a bit of an issue. So we always say, gents are on the left, because the ladies are always right.
I like this. You remember this. Okay.
So ladies are always right. So that's just the way to remember. So when you're putting on a buttonhole, obviously the most common buttonhole will be a rose or some kind of heavy flower. And they will be wired up, so it tries to make them a little bit lighter. But when you're actually putting them on, we'll demonstrate this as if I was a gentleman. So it will go on the left. You place it fairly high up to where the jacket has the sort of V cut into
Yeah.
it, so it's nice and high, but not too high so it's poking under their chin, so it just fits in a natural line with the line of the jacket. You would lift the lapel so that you can actually get under it, and when you actually place the pin under it, you want to do it as high up to the neck of the flower as possible. That gives it the most support. The lower down you put it, the more likely you will have like that, so it will start to droop. So when you place it on, it literally is, you just pick up the fabric, touch it through, pierce it through the top. I'm amazed I can do this upside down.
I'm quite impressed actually, I have to say, Louise.
And through, and it will sit perfectly in line. If you do happen to have where it starts to go a bit wonky, certainly on the ladies, if they've got very sheer fabric or light fabric that doesn't stick very well, what we do is we get an additional pin, and we can either pop it through the bottom so you don't see it, it will hide behind, or we actually insert it from the bottom up, so you've actually got a very nice finish to the bottom of the buttonhole.
Nice
But
purling.
that's basically how the buttonhole should sit.
Marvellous. So you've heard it here first. Thank you for joining us again on the Planning Hub, and thanks again to Louise at Wendy House Flowers.